Good day, distinguished panel of evaluators, fellow researchers, educators, ladies and gentlemen. I am Verna A. De Lejero, Principal 1 from the Department of Education and a graduate student from the University of Bohol in the Philippines. The Philippines is located in the Southeast Asia with GPS coordinates of 12.8797 degrees north latitude and 121.7740 degrees east longitude. Our country is recognized for its resilient educational system and strong commitment to leadership development in schools. I currently serve as a Principal 1 under the Department of Education while pursuing advanced research studies at the University of Bohol. My research interest focuses on educational leadership, emotional competence, and organizational effectiveness. Today, I am honored to present my research entitled Emotional Intelligence, Work-Life Balance, and Leadership Practices of School Heads in Camag Districts, Bohol. This study explores how emotional intelligence and work-life balance influence the leadership practices of school heads in the educational institutions. Educational leadership greatly affects school performance, teacher motivation, and student outcomes. In today's educational environment, school heads face increasing demands involving administration, educational supervision, stakeholder relationships, and personal responsibilities. Emotional intelligence is considered essential because it supports decision making, relationship management, and conflict resolution. At the same time, imbalance between work and personal life may negatively affect leadership, effectiveness, and overall well being. Despite the growing importance of these variables, limited studies have examined emotional intelligence, work life balance, and leadership practices simultaneously among school heads. This gap motivated the conduct of this research. This research was anchored on the three major theories. First is Goleman's emotional intelligence theory, which emphasizes self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Second is Clark's work-family border theory, which explains how individuals balance personal and professional responsibilities. Third is the transformational leadership theory of Bass and Avolio, which highlights the importance of inspirational and people-centered leadership. Together, these theories provided the foundation for understanding the interaction among the variables. The conceptual framework illustrates the relationship among emotional intelligence, work-life balance, and leadership practices. The framework assumes that emotional intelligence and work-life balance significantly influence the leadership practices demonstrated by school heads. This model served as the guide in analyzing the study variables. This study utilized a descriptive survey correlational research design. The design was appropriate because it described the current conditions of the respondents and examined the relationships among variables without manipulating the research environment. The respondents of the study were 65 school heads from the Camag districts during the school year 2025 to 2026. Three adapted and validated survey questionnaires were used to gather data on emotional intelligence, work-life balance, and leadership practices. The instruments underwent validation procedures to ensure reliability and accuracy. The study utilized percentage weighted mean, chi-square tests, and Spearman correlation for statistical analysis. Ethical standards were strictly observed. Informed consent was obtained from all participants. Confidentiality and voluntary participation were ensured throughout the conduct of the study. Ethical clearance was likewise secured before data collection. The findings revealed that school heads demonstrated a very high level of emotional intelligence. All dimensions, namely self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills, were rated very high. Among the dimensions, self-awareness obtained the highest rating, indicating that school heads possess strong understanding of their emotions and behaviors. Meanwhile, self-regulation received the lowest rating, although it still remained with a very high category. The findings suggest that school heads are emotionally competent leaders capable of handling complex school situations. High emotional intelligence contributes to effective communication, relationship management, and leadership decision making. The lower rating in self-regulation implies that emotional control during stressful situations may still be strengthened through leadership development programs. The results further showed that school heads demonstrated a high level of work-life balance. Efficiency and effectiveness at work ranked the highest. This indicates that school heads can effectively perform their professional responsibilities. However, health and wellness initiatives rank the lowest among the dimensions. This suggests the need to strengthen wellness practices and self-care programs among educational leaders. Maintaining work-life balance is essential for sustainable leadership performance. When school heads successfully balance personal and professional responsibilities, they become more productive, emotionally stable, and effective in leading educational institutions. The findings also highlight the importance of prioritizing health and wellness despite demanding leadership responsibilities. The study found that leadership practices were most intensively practiced by school heads. Among the dimensions, focusing on teaching and learning ranked the highest. This indicates that school heads prioritize instructional leadership and educational quality. On the other hand, leading strategically and developing self and others receive relatively lower ratings. Nevertheless, all dimensions remained under the category of most intensively practiced. The findings demonstrate that school heads are highly engaged in leadership responsibilities. Their strong focus on teaching and learning reflects commitment to student achievement and school improvement. However, strategic leadership, development, and professional growth opportunities may still be enhanced to strengthen long-term institutional effectiveness. The study revealed significant relationships among emotional intelligence, work-life balance, and leadership practices. Higher emotional intelligence was associated with stronger leadership practices and better work-life balance. Similarly, school heads who maintained healthier work-life balance demonstrated more effective leadership behaviors. These findings support previous studies indicating that emotionally intelligent leaders are more capable of sustaining effective professional performance. The findings support the study of Susanti and colleagues in 2024, which emphasized that higher emotional intelligence contributes to stronger leadership effectiveness. Likewise, Ahmad and colleagues in 2022 reported that leaders who successfully manage personal and professional responsibilities are perceived as more effective organizational leaders. The results confirm that emotional competence and personal well-being are important foundations of successful school leadership. School heads who maintain work-life balance perform more efficiently and sustainably in their roles. Emotional intelligence has a positive influence on leadership practices and behavior. Emotional intelligent leaders help create healthier, more supportive school environments. Overall, they contribute to more effective and productive educational institutions. Based on the conclusions, the following recommendations are proposed. Educational institutions may conduct emotional intelligence development programs for school heads. Schools may strengthen wellness and mental health initiatives to support leadership well-being. Work-life balance programs may also be promoted to encourage healthy time management and stronger family relationships. Continuous leadership enhancement seminars should likewise be provided for school leaders. This study provides several practical contributions to the field of educational leadership. First, the findings may support Department of Education leadership development programs by emphasizing the importance of emotional intelligence and work-life balance among school heads. Second, the study enhances school leadership competencies by identifying the personal and professional qualities necessary for effective leadership performance. Third, the research promotes stronger teacher support systems and healthier school climate improvement through emotionally responsive and balanced leadership practices. Finally, the findings may serve as a valuable guide for future educational policies and wellness programs intended to strengthen the overall well-being and effectiveness of educational leaders. The study may also contribute significantly to future research and professional development initiatives. First, it can serve as a valuable graduate research reference for future researchers who intend to explore emotional intelligence, work-life balance, and leadership practices in educational settings. Second, the findings may be utilized as leadership training material for school heads, administrators, and educational leaders to strengthen leadership effectiveness and professional growth. Lastly, the study has strong potential for journal publication and conference presentation, allowing findings to reach a wider academic and professional audience. As a school head, this study became deeply personal to me. Conducting this research, allowed me to realize that effective leadership is not only about managing institutions, but also about understanding emotions, maintaining balance, and caring for personal well being. The process required dedication, sacrifice, and perseverance. More importantly, it strengthened my commitment to becoming a more compassionate and emotionally responsive educational leader. The study was guided by relevant scholarly references and existing literature in educational leadership, emotional intelligence, and work life balance. Distinguished participants, educational leadership is not only measured by authority or management skills, but by the ability to inspire, empathize, and lead with balance and humanity. I am Verna A. De Lejero from the University of Bohol, Philippines. Thank you very much for listening.